I'm here at Ellsworth High School with Ellsworth head wrestling coach Jack Radabaugh. Jack, thanks for joining us on high school headquarters. We appreciate your time.
I'm glad to be here and glad to give you a little bit of time. It's one of those busy nights again when we have a little kids wrestling program going and trying to get grades done for the end of the quarter. So, we're crunched for time, but we always take a little time for wrestling.
We'll appreciate it. I'd like to start just a little bit talking about last year. You guys won the state tournament last year. Overall, what kind of experience is that for your wrestlers?
Well, our wrestlers, we have 3 returning seniors that are on the team that experienced that last year, but the rest of them were kind of sitting in the background. They all dressed and were down at the state tournament. Most of our team this year is young, inexperienced, and it shows sometimes in our matches, but we're still doing well and we're still winning a lot of tournaments and mainly the same type of record we had last year at this time of year.
So what kind of program boost is that? Not necessarily for the people that were there and experienced it, but for the younger levels.
The younger levels know what it's like to sit there and they see the older, they were sitting on the benches, of course, and dressed. So now they're juniors this year and some seniors. And the experience they get out of that is that we want to be here and do the same thing. And it is a great experience for them.
So what type, personnel-wise, who did you bring back that had some experience, and who are some people that have been stepping up this year that might not have had that experience before?
Well, to start off with, our 119-pounder Sam Hoopert is a 2-time state place winner. He's been in the finals twice, so he's been around the block a little bit, and he's our captain this year. So he's sort of leading us into the season, and he knows that we're being that it's a small senior class. He has to help lead the underclassmen, such as your juniors and your sophomores that are on the team this year. And he's been doing a good job with that so far. And then you can go up into the lineup where coming back this year is 130-pounder DJ Yarwood, who was also a state runner-up for us last year. And he's doing a great job of leading the team, keeps his head up all the time. He's having a little rough time right now. He's kind of in a slump, not winning the matches he wants to win. But he doesn't get down, and he doesn't let the kids see that it's hurting him a little.
So for those kids that are coming back, do you think it's an added challenge, any added pressure to try and live up to last year's expectations?
Oh, I believe it is, but most of them know that they've got to wrestle their own way, and they got to wrestle their own matches. So it's up to them to do their own thing right now and show their own way.
So we've talked a little bit about the inexperience that you do have on your team. Being at this point in the season, has the inexperienced wrestlers on your team performed how you had thought they were? Have they exceeded expectations?
Most of them are exceeding their expectations. They were on JV last year, getting not getting any varsity experience, and now they're just flung right into the varsity spot, and they're not afraid to step up and wrestle with anybody in the country. Such as the examples when we went down to Wisconsin Rapids this weekend. We wrestled Rapids. We didn't win a whole lot of matches against them, but we didn't back away from them. We weren't afraid to wrestle them. Stepped out in the mat and went right at it with them. Lost a lot of close matches, and the score doesn't show what kind of a match we had with them. But these young boys are stepping up now, and it's that time of year when we hope that's when they're starting to.
And in terms of your wrestlers, with the turnover that you had from last year to this year, does that change your style as a coach at all? Does it change the style of wrestling that you guys do here at Ellsworth?
No, it doesn't change much of anything. Most of these kids have been through our program since they've been in middle school or younger, and they know what to expect when they come in our wrestling room. They've been in and out of it for some of them for the last 10 years, so they know what's going on in our wrestling room, and they expect things to be the same as they always have been.
And out of the brief conversations that we've had, the one thing I've taken away is that you guys are wrestling some really talented teams, not only in the state, but in the region, in the nation. What does that do for your team to see where they stack up against not only the best teams around here, but the best teams in a further distance?
Well, what it really does for you is that you go out and you wrestle top teams in the nation, such as Wisconsin Rapids was ranked in the top 12, Glenbard, Illinois, top team out of Illinois, Apple Valley, who is always in the top 5 of the nation. Next weekend we'll bring Apple Valley into our own house. They come down here to wrestle us. We're not on that caliber of a wrestler because we're a small school, and they get kids into their school that aren't from necessarily Apple Valley all the time, but we we wrestle those kind of people, and then once you find out that if you step on the mat with them, you're getting beat because of experience or of lack of a little bit of talent. But if you would have done a certain thing at a certain time, maybe the match would have been closer, or maybe we could have even won those matches. And that brings those kids around to the season later on that now they've been through a war. They've been battle-worn, battle-tested, and now they're going to be able to wrestle against their own caliber or their own area a little bit better and not have as much fear, and know that they have been out wrestling the best in the country, and then they can come back and wrestle on their own level and do a little bit better.
So whether they might not see it right away, but going against that tough talent, those talented wrestlers, you can kind of see improvement as the season goes?
Yes, definitely. As soon as we get finished wrestling a talented team like Wisconsin Rapids and Apple Valley, the next week you just see a change in attitude, a change in their talent, a change in their work ethic. Everything comes around a little bit better at that time of year, and it just gets better for us. The kids just work a little bit harder. They know what's coming up now. This is our warm-ups for tournament time, I guess you'd say.
So for our viewers that haven't seen you guys wrestle yet, they come to a match, what can they expect to see?
They'll expect to see 14 kids step out on the gym, and they'll expect to see 14 kids give their best effort every time they step out on the mat and not back away from anybody, no matter how talented or better the other team is.
Jack, thanks for joining us on High School Headquarters tonight.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.